Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Hakuna La Planta. My name is Kevin and today I'm going to show you my top 5 plants for the month of June. So I know I'm cheating because I'm putting this up on May 31st, but guys, there's just 2 philodendrons on my list that I want to talk about more in depth before I do my full philodendron collection video. And I just thought it was better that I talk about them in my top 5 video instead of trying to rush in my philodendron video. And yeah, I am really excited to show specifically these 2 philodendrons, and ooh, they're so pretty, but also the 3 other plants. They're gorgeous. First, I want to thank you guys for all the support in my last video. That video was my entire Monstera collection. And because I got so much great feedback from you guys, y'all wanted a philodendron collection video. So I'll be putting that out later this week. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure. Then why did I say I'm pretty sure? Okay, so so stupid. So I'm not sure if I'm going to split it into 2 videos, like a part 1 and part 2, just because there's a lot of them. So yeah, we'll just see. Maybe when I get all my plants out here, I'll be overwhelmed, like the Syngonium video. But yeah, we'll see. So again, I have 5 plants. Like I said before, 2 philodendrons. I have an Anthurium, a Hoya, and a SCINDAPSUS. Also, is it SCINDAPSUS or CINDAPSUS? I still don't know. I say SCINDAPSUS because there's a C. Please let me know if you know the correct answer. Or what do you say? Anyways, before I start this video, if you like these kind of videos and you like my content, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. And also follow me on Instagram if you like plant pictures. I post pictures every single day. Okay, oh my gosh, which one do I start with? I'm really excited. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a crowd favorite. It is the Philodendron glorious. For people that don't know, the Philodendron glorious is a hybrid between the Philodendron melanochrysum and the Philodendron gloriosum. Okay, so I got this plant in July 2020. Here's a picture. I think this might be the month after, so August. This is the glorious beside a little baby melanochrysum. So disregard the melanochrysum, just look at the 1 leaf on the Philodendron glorious. But as you can see, I started her off in LECA. She wasn't a fast grower by any means. She was, I would say, steady, like a steady grower. And yeah, here's a picture from December. She had 3 or 4 leaves and she was a cutie. This, unfortunately, is when everything went downhill. I mean, I'm being dramatic. It didn't go like downhill. It was like, there was a lot of good things that happened and a lot of bad things that happened. So like in the picture, you could see that she's attached to a moss pole. I had a lot of the moss pole submerged in the LECA and in the nutrient solution. So because of this, the moss pole stayed constantly wet. And when I say wet, I mean like sopping wet, like it was soaked in the nutrient solution or water. And this resulted in a lot of problems. So the first issue was a little bit of root rot. So some of the root system that was coming out of the glorious was latching onto the moss pole that was submerged in the LECA nutrient solution. Because the moss on the moss pole was just firmly packed in like the netting, there wasn't any room for any like root oxygenation. So when the roots latched onto the moss pole in the LECA, they basically suffocated and died. Luckily though, there was another root system that I kind of moved away from the moss pole. And yeah, the plant ended up being fine. The second issue was that because the moss pole was like sopping wet, one of the petioles at one point just kind of rotted. I don't know if it was damaged previously and then the moisture got into the little wound, I guess. But I mean, here's a picture. That leaf was pretty also, and it died. So at this point, I was really frustrated. I was like, okay, I'm gonna chop up this plant. There's so many issues. I wanna get rid of this moss pole. But then I was like, okay, let's just wait for another leaf. Let's see how it goes. And I am so thankful that I did, because the leaf that I'm gonna show you, well, I'm gonna show you the whole plant, but the leaf that it pushed out was a lot better. I mean, not a lot better, a lot bigger than the previous one that rotted away. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so this is my Philodendron Glorious. Oh my gosh, look at this leaf. Oh my gosh. And I don't know if you could see, but like newer leaves, they have this like iridescence. Can you see it a little bit? Oh my gosh, this plant is so pretty. And really, this new leaf is the reason why she's on my top 5 plants of the month of June. The previous leaves, they look okay. Like they're not that damaged or anything. There's just some cosmetic damage over here. Again, older leaves are not looking the greatest. So yeah, I think it's funny because you have like all these smaller leaves and then there's a gigantic gap because there was one petiole and leaf that rotted away. But I mean, are we mad? I don't think we're mad. And on that note, guys, there is a new leaf in the... Oh, this leaf wants to steal the show. Do you see it? It's popping out. I just saw that now. I'm so excited. And yeah, I mean, look at her, guys. My dream was always to have like a gigantic Glorious, and I can't believe I almost chopped her. I mean, I still might propagate her. I almost forgot. I have a second one. So when I got this plant originally, it had a large stem right beneath the main root system of the plant. This part of the stem had a lot of nodes and aerial roots, but not like a substantial root system, so essentially it was a wet stick. So I took this wet stick, I didn't know what I was doing. I took this wet stick and I put it in LECA, and when it was in LECA, it was just a little below the surface of the LECA, and I kept just plain old water in like the reservoir. And guys, look here. This was one of my first, I think I had success with another philodendron doing this. This was one of my first successful wet stick propagations. Look at the small leaf. And like, I think you could see like 1 or 2 cute little healthy roots. But yeah, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have 2 Philodendron Gloriouses. And yeah, I guess I'll show you her now. She's doing great. So here she is. So she has 3 leaves. This is the first one. This is the second one. And this is the last one. And you could see that she is pushing out a new leaf. So yeah, she's growing in soil right now. There's no particular reason. I might sell this one, but I might also see and compare the growth, having one in LECA and passive hydroponics and also having one in soil. Again, y'all know me, I love experimenting and just seeing how things grow in my care. So yeah, super exciting, little cutie. Again, the picture of the wet stick and the small cute leaf right over here. And now she is like a full-blown plant. So cute. Okay, so the first plant is the Philodendron. We are only on the first plant. Okay, so the first plant is the Philodendron Glorious. Okay, so moving on to the second philodendron that I'm really excited to show you guys. The second philodendron is the Philodendron PASTAZANUM. I've wanted this plant for a while. I got it a year ago and I like aggressively propagate it. Like aggressively. Like looking back, I just like don't know why I did it. So I don't have a lot of pictures. I don't think I have any pictures, but I'm currently in the process of just like gathering footage of the whole propagation process of this plant. Again, I guess it was a learning experience. The plant looks gorgeous now. Okay, so I'll go grab her. Okay guys, so this is oh my God, this leaf. Okay, so this is the Philodendron PASTAZANUM. Oh my God, look at her. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the new leaf. I can't, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, look at her. I'm spilling water. Oh my, okay, hold on guys. Keep the paper towel on the floor in case I do it again. But yeah, she is so cute. Classic heart shape. Yeah, like so pretty. And funny enough, guys, you know how I lost one plant? There is a second plant in here that just decided to branch off the main root system. So she pushed out this awkward leaf. The first leaf is always awkward, but she's still a cutie. Look at her, she's so funny. And then the one after that is this beautiful leaf over here. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like happy. I mean, you saw what she started out as. Whoa, okay. And again, these philodendrons are terrestrial plants, so they crawl on the ground. And so I have a long pot here. So the stem and the aerial roots could kind of dig into the LECA. And yeah, she's a beauty. I mean, can we, oh my gosh, she is so pretty. Okay, so I do want to talk about the previous leaf. So this is the oldest leaf over here. You could see she's a bit chlorotic and yellow. The one after that, I think, is this one. She looks okay. She has, you could see a little bit of yellowing there. And then the one before the newest leaf is this one. And you could see that she's not the most green. My goal was basically to have a healthy root system. So the reason why the leaves have more yellow in them is because I cut back a lot on the nutrients I was giving this plant, and I just focused on root growth. So yeah, because I focused on root growth, it gave me healthy looking leaves and large leaves. And I'll put a clip here of that root system before I put into this long pot. And yeah, I've said this before, but a healthy large root system will ultimately give you healthy large growth. You guys have seen where my plants live. So this one is against the window. It is a south window. And yeah, that's all the light it gets. And she's just fine. I'm so happy to finally show you this plant. Like, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, I showed this plant, I think, in my house tour, and a few of you thought that this was a Philodendron McDowell. I don't think it is. Obviously, I'm no plant expert in identifying plants. It was sold to me as a PASTAZANUM. And I think the main difference with the McDowell is that the McDowell has more pink tinged green, I guess. So I think the veining would be more pink. I think mainly you would see that when the leaf is newer. And the undersides would be more pink, but you could see that they're pretty much green. I guess the only other way is if this philodendron ever flowers. Their flowers do look very similar, but I think also there's a slightly pinker tinge to the whites in the flower. Okay, so the second plant is the Philodendron PASTAZANUM. Okay, the next one, the third plant on this list, is an Anthurium. And I was so stunned with how big the newest leaf is, and I mean, it's an example of how well Anthuriums grow in pon. So the third plant is the hybrid Anthurium. It is the Anthurium regale crossed with Magnificum. So I got this plant in the fall of 2020. Here's a picture. The leaf looks a little crunchy, but she's still cute and awkward. I initially started growing this plant in LECA, and she was doing fine. She pushed out a few leaves. Yeah, she pushed out 2 leaves while she was in LECA. And then at that point, because I heard so much about how Anthuriums love growing in LECHUZA PON, I decided to take her out of LECA and then put her in a self-watering pot in, again, LECHUZA PON. Okay, so I'm gonna grab her. This leaf is one of my favorite leaves at the moment. Like, it's just crazy. I'll go grab her. Okay, so this is the Anthurium regale crossed with Magnificum. I can't. Okay, hold on. Let me switch places. Oh my gosh, look at this new leaf. It is insane. Mandatory head test. Okay, I need to calm down. Like, look at her, guys. This is insane. Okay, so let's start off with the oldest leaf. So a lot of people would at this point take her off, but she's still green. So I'm still gonna use this leaf as kind of a leaf the plant can pull from in case it needs extra nutrients. And so yeah, she is still serving a purpose. So she's gonna stay with us. I think after she pushed out this leaf, which is gorgeous, around the same size, and I was actually pretty shocked. I thought it was going to be smaller because of the whole acclimation process. Then she pushed out this leaf and I was like, wow, she's so cute. And again, like a good sized leaf here. Then I forgot to mention she pushed out a couple flowers, which I was kind of mad about because I didn't want the flowers. So I just cut them off, and good thing, because I think all the energy was then channeled into this new leaf. Oh my gosh, I cannot. I think I'm so in love with this leaf because it's so dark and so big compared to the other leaves. And yeah, such a stunner. What is going on here? Again, she's in pon and a self-watering pot. I will leave a link below. Oh my God, I'm dropping pon now. Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking about pon, and you could see that it's so high up here. It didn't start out like this. Because the root system is so large, it is displacing the pon and it's pushing it to the surface. So I'm gonna have to repot her because it's gonna start overflowing. But anyhow, I will put these pots in a link down below. I got them on Amazon. And yeah, I have been experimenting with nutrients, fertilization, plain old water. Again, people say that pon has slow releasing fertilizer, and there's still mixed opinions as to if you should start fertilizing from the beginning or if you should start fertilizing, I think like 2 to 3 months of having your plant in pon, because then the fertilizer beads are like done at that point. For me, I kind of follow a pattern where I water it with a nutrient solution. I use my hydroponic nutrient solution about once a month. So for example, once this meter gets to the first yellow line here, I water it with my nutrient solution. Every time after that, I just use plain old water. Because there was a new leaf, I have been fertilizing more often, but if there isn't any, noticeable growth, I kind of just keep going with the water. And again, it's roughly like a month to 6 weeks that I put a nutrient solution when I need to water it. Again, I know nothing about this. I'm just like experimenting and just doing what I do. Anyways, the third plant is the Anthurium regale. How come I can't say regale? Anthurium regale crossed with Magnificum. Okay, moving on to the fourth plant. The fourth plant is my Hoya Australis Lisa. So this Hoya, we've come so far. This was one of the first Hoyas, actually one of the first plants that I transitioned into LECA. So again, I got this plant in the fall of 2019. And she wasn't happy. She really didn't do anything. She pushed out a few leaves, but she wasn't happy. So here's a picture from March 2020. Look how cute she is. This is when I first transitioned her into LECA. After this, she was pushing out these gigantic leaves and I was living. There was, however, a point in time, I think it was the fall, when the plant wasn't pushing out large leaves. They were actually very small. I'll put a picture here. You could see at the very bottom, there's that leaf growth that I was talking about in the beginning, but then the tendril, and you could see the small little tiny leaves. I ultimately linked this to the amount of sun or light it was getting. When it was pushing out that new growth, it was against my south-facing window, so it was getting a lot of light. But because there was less light, I think the plant started to panic. And so at that point, I decided to repot it, put it on a trellis situation, and during the winter time, I popped it under a couple of grow lights. Ever since then, this plant just has not stopped growing. And on top of that, guys, she is in bloom right now. The blooms are like, to be honest, they're not my favorites, but they're pretty. I mean, in their own way, they look kind of sharp and angry. So this is the Hoya Australis Lisa. So I'll do a little rotation here. You can see she has a lot of growth and she's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. A lot of different colors. Again, the red leaves are newer. And where is a good one? Love the red sun-stressed kind of color. And yeah, where's the flower? Okay, here they are, guys. Look at these flowers. So yeah, like I said, they're like sharp. They have like a little, I don't know if that's like pink or purple in the middle, but so pretty. I can't get over like how, you know, it's always an accomplishment if you could get your Hoyas to bloom. And yeah, I think because this was like my, I knew I was gonna break one of them. Okay, let's put you down. Look at how cute. Okay, that one doesn't smell like anything. Maybe it was an old flower. I don't know what I would... I'm so bad with like scents and describing them. And if your Hoya Australis Lisa has bloomed and you know how to describe a smell, please let me know. Because I really can't pinpoint like what it is. But yeah, all of these leaves down here is when the plant was like, you know, just taken off in LECA and it was the summertime. And then she was pushing out these like small, tiny, tiny leaves like this. And this went on for like 1, 2, 3, 4, like way too long. Ever since I put it under grow light, you're getting these massive leaves. Like, look at her. Oh my gosh, look at her. And yeah, peduncles galore. Like this was the first one up here. This one, I can't get it to focus, but this one was the first one. I think it dried out. And then the second one was the one that's in bloom right now. And then there's one at the very bottom, right over here. And then there was another one I saw. Oh, here. Right in the center, right there. But yeah, I would say I bought this plant because I was in love with the foliage. There's a different pattern on each one. Like this is more cream or yellow. This one's more green. But yeah, again, the fourth plant is the Hoya Australis Lisa. Okay, so now it's plant number 5, the very last plant. This plant is the SCINDAPSUS TREUBII Moonlight. Okay, y'all have said that you have the same experience with this plant being extremely slow. And yeah, it was the same story with me. Here's a picture, I think, from September of 2020. These are just two little cute, like, I thought it was like very Mickey Mouse like type ears. And she stayed like that for like 5 months. So I think that was September, right? Yeah, September, literally nothing. And then finally, February 2021. This is a picture of her pushing out 2 additional leaves all of a sudden. And I mean, there was no stopping her at that point. Okay, so here she is, guys. So pretty, so cute. Look at her. So again, this plant started off as 2 cuttings, but there's actually a third one that branched off, which is this plant over here. Oh my gosh, look at that silver pattern to die for. I kind of think, like, is it correct to say that they kind of look like, it's like a feather-like pattern? I don't know. But like, yeah, look at this one. This one is like trying to find its way. It's going down. And yeah, I'm so excited because, I mean, y'all know this plant is so slow. Oh my god, that rhymed. Okay, so gorgeous. I honestly don't know why it started growing quickly. I don't know if it was a change in season. This plant is also one that doesn't sit under a grow light. It's just kind of under the table against the window. So it has a great perspective of the sun, I guess, and the sky. But I think it finally grew roots that were well acclimated to LECA and passive hydroponics because, I mean, let me show you. Let me just get my phone out of the way so I don't break it. Put the paper towel back on the floor. Okay guys, look at these roots. Insane. That's when it started growing so much. So it took quite a while to adapt to LECA, I would say. But yeah, she's happy now. She's growing really quickly. I think this is my favorite leaf. Like, actually they all look the same. Oh my God, they're all so pretty. So the last plant, the SCINDAPSUS TREUBII Moonlight. Okay guys, I guess that's it. So again, let me know what are your favorites for the month of June. Like I said previously, I will be posting my philodendron collection, my entire philodendron collection. So yeah, if you're into philodendrons, then definitely check it out this week. And again, if you have any questions for me, you could leave that in the comment section below. And as always, if you've made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.